thank you for being here today. My name is Wes Moster. I'm the Communications Director for the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. And today is an exciting day as we celebrate the opening of a new THP district headquarters and a new TBI regional headquarters here in Jackson, Tennessee. We appreciate your support and you being here today. We have several distinguished guests that you're going to hear from momentarily. But first, we're going to begin with an opening prayer led by THP Chaplain Robert Johnson. And then after that, we will have a Pledge of Allegiance led by Cameron and Kendricks Frazier, children of TBI Special Agent DeJohn Frazier. Thank you.
Let us pray. We come to you this afternoon not to give you something you need, for you need nothing. But in the view of your great mercy, we come to offer ourselves to you this afternoon as a living sacrifice, not as one, but as a collected body here in this new place. Father, use us to further your kingdom through this organization. May this building be a place where your word is honored, where your peoples are professing holy in the furthering of your name, where friendship be established, and allow it to be established in deep-rooted love. God, thank you for the men and the women who serve our state in leadership role. Not only the family, but bless everyone that is under the sound of my voice. Give them peace when they are working from home. Now, Lord, we ask if you will bless this effort. Bless, oh God, in a way that this place will be a cornerstone to this community, not only to this community, but throughout the state of Tennessee. And this we do ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, I ask that you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, everyone. Time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention salute. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republics for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There you go.
Thank you. Great job. Our first speaker this afternoon is the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security Commissioner Jeff Long. Commissioner Long was appointed commissioner by Governor Lee in 2019 after serving as sheriff in Williamson County. He has served in the criminal justice field for nearly 50 years as an assistant district attorney for the 21st Judicial District, special agent in charge with the TBI, investigator for the 21st Judicial District, arson investigator with the Tennessee Fire Marshal's Office, and captain with the Williamson County Sheriff's Office, and also federal hospital police officer with the Veterans Administration Hospital in Memphis. Please give a warm welcome to Commissioner Jeff Long.
Thank you, Wes, and thank all of you for being here real quick. I was at dinner one night. My wife happened to go with me to this dinner, and they read the bio, and I'm embarrassed every time I read the bio, but they read the bio, and my chest began to swell a little bit. And I thought, I have accomplished quite a bit in my life. Been very blessed by God to be able to do what I've done. And when I got through and sat down, as wives always do, she put me in my place and she said, next time don't ever let them do that again. And I said, why? She said, because it sounds like you can't keep a job. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for your support for the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security and for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Today's a great day for public safety here in Tennessee, especially in West Tennessee, as we celebrate the opening of these two new buildings. For the Tennessee Highway Patrol, today was a long time coming. The last newly built THP district headquarters was in the Fall Branch office in East Tennessee, 1982. You have to turn your clock all the way back to 1967, the year that the THP Jackson District Headquarters on Van Drive was built. That building has been there for a long time. We would not be standing here today if it weren't for the vision, the hard work, the dedication, the planning, and the persistence of several people and agencies. I want to take the opportunity to thank former Tennessee Department of Safety, Homeland Security Commissioner Bill Gibbons, who started this process, was followed by his predecessor, Commissioner David Perkey, former Chief of Staff David McGriff, former Tennessee Highway Patrol Colonels Tracy Trott and Derek Stewart, and former THP Jackson District Captain Curtis Mansfield. Thank you also to the Tennessee Department of General Services, the architects, the contractors, and the McKellar-Sipes Regional Airport. We're proud of our new home, and thank you for your hard work and generosity for seeing this project through. Lastly, I want to thank former Governor Bill Haslam for beginning the process, Governor Lee for continuing and finishing the process, and the entire General Assembly currently and before. Those are the people who were instrumental in the funding of the building. This is a beautiful building that will serve the Tennessee Highway Patrol and the community for years to come. It's now my pleasure to introduce our Colonel of the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Matt Perry.
Thanks, Commissioner. Well, this is a really exciting day for the Tennessee Highway Patrol. I know it is for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation as well. A long time coming. Commissioner and I were driving to West Tennessee last week, and he reminded me that he applied to be a trooper, one job he unfortunately couldn't get, for about 45 years, and he got there. But he applied in the building we're moving out of. THP was in that building for 54 years, and the first thing I want to do is thank everyone for being here today and honoring us with your presence. But especially I want to thank the Jackson District Troopers for being here to celebrate this special occasion. This is your new home. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it serves you well for many years to come. There's no doubt our new district headquarters will serve the department and community for many years. As Commissioner alluded, this beautiful building will replace the 54-year-old Jackson District building on Van Drive. The blueprint for this district headquarters will be the future blueprint for every building, every state, every district headquarters. There's 8 districts in Tennessee. Knoxville District is currently being built. I was there yesterday and got to look at it. It's well on its way. I want to echo what Commissioner Long said, thanking former Governor Haslam, Governor Bill Lee, the General Assembly, Commissioner Bill Gibbons, Commissioner Perkey, and most importantly, I want to thank Colonel Tracy Trott and Colonel Derek Stewart for guiding the Highway Patrol, helping us see this vision through. And lastly, I want to thank General Services, the architects, contractors, McKellar-Sipes Regional Airport for their unwavering support, and former Captain Curtis Mansfield, who's here today. He helped start this vision as well. Thank you. And now, please welcome a staunch supporter of the Tennessee Highway Patrol, and I know the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation as well, Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally.
Thank you, Colonel. It's not often that a colonel gets to introduce a lieutenant. But I'm very pleased to be here and to help y'all celebrate a great event in Tennessee, the really both buildings that will be dedicated, and particularly the one to Special Agent Frazier. It's fitting and a fitting memorial to his service to the state and to our country. But I'd like to also thank my colleagues that are here today. We have Paige Wally and Paul Rose, and also in the legislature we have a term, we call it the bulldog with the collar on, and that's somebody that's very tenacious and fights and gets things done. And in this case, it's Ed Jackson. He's the bulldog with the collar. He was able to work with me and the members of the Senate Finance Committee back when I was chair of finance, and get this project really off the ground. And it's just wonderful to see it completed, especially under the watch of Governor Lee, who has done so much for law enforcement and so much for this state. But both he and Governor Haslam have been tremendous supporters of y'all, and also Speaker Sexton on the House side. But it's a real pleasure for me to introduce one of the people that helped get this project off the ground and through the muddy waters of the financing of state government. But Ed Jackson. Ed?
Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you, Governor. Appreciate that very much. And this was truly a labor of love. I've wanted to make sure this happened, and so many other people were part of this too. And welcome everybody. What a wonderful crowd, and I'm very proud to be here on this day. And day to celebrate and thank those who were part of getting this project funded and completed. And it's finally done, and thank you all for everybody who was part of this. I do want to recognize Shannon Frazier and your family. You have two beautiful children, and for Agent DeGruin Frazier and his sacrifice that he gave for the TBI and for the citizens of Tennessee and Madison County. I want to thank you, Carson Kustoff, for being here too. I hadn't hardly got to speak to you yet. But the project all started. I want to give credit due is where it should be due. And when I was running for office in 2014, and Sheriff John Mayer was running for office for sheriff, and we were both candidates. And one thing that he told me, he said, you know what, one thing we need to do, he's a former special agent in charge for West Tennessee for years with the TBI. And he said, we need to have the office moved here in West Tennessee. It would service all of law enforcement in West Tennessee a whole lot better. And so we started talking about it. We both got elected, and he went to all the law enforcement agencies in West Tennessee, the sheriffs, the police, and got letters from them that said this would really be what we want. Director Gwynn, you were a huge part of this too. So we came to you and got your buy-in, and Lieutenant Governor, you were always there. You are there from the very beginning. So thank you so much for your support for this. So we talked about it, and well, it went through the paces, and it got funded. I met with Governor Haslam and Jim Henry in a local restaurant here, and pitched it to them, and they said, you know, that makes sense. That'd be a good thing to have it centrally located in West Tennessee, in Jackson. So it would serve law enforcement so much better. So Bill Haslam, Director Gwynn, Colonel Trott, Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally, of course, were all a part of this, and all the constitutional officers as well. They were bought into this. But it got funded, and then it got taken out of the budget. Then it got funded and got taken out of the budget. So we had a little fight we had to take care of. But anyway, it got done. And I do want to thank Governor Lee and your office, and and Director Roush, Colonel Matt Perry, and Jeff Long, Commissioner Long, for all that you did to push it over the top. So this is a wonderful facility, but I do want to thank, last but not least, all the law enforcement, the troopers, and all the TBI agents and all the staff here for what you do for us in West Tennessee. We support you. anything you ever need, just please call us and we'll try and get it done for you. But thank you for your service to our state in West Tennessee. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Good afternoon. My name is Kelly McAllister. I have the privilege of serving the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation as a public information officer based here in West Tennessee. Today, we invite you to celebrate the opening of our new Jackson facility while honoring a very, very special man and his family. Congressman David Kustoff and TBI Director David Roush will join us in just a minute to say a few words, as will Ms. Shannon Fraser, the wife of fallen Special Agent Dejaron Fraser. Before they do, I'd like to recognize the many, many people who made the idea and dream of our very special facility a reality. Members of these teams, please stand, and if you would, hold your applause until the very end. Our general contractor, our friends at Turner Construction, our architects and designers, Lewis Group Architects, our lab consultant, McLaren, Wilson, and Laurie Inc., our civil engineering and landscaping architects, A2H, our structural, mechanical, plumbing, and electrical engineering team at SSR, Commissioner Christy Branscombe and her project management team with GSA, and our regional supervisor of our TBI crime laboratory here in West Tennessee, Ms. Donna Nelson, who did not let any detail go missed. And please also our TBI Assistant Director of Administrative Services, Richard Moore. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. We are privileged that Congressman David Kustoff could join us today. As a former U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, the Congressman has worked alongside our agents as well as law enforcement at every single level and has proven to be a faithful supporter of our team. Please welcome Congressman David Kustoff.
Thank you, Kelly, very much. It's an honor to be here today, and I want to thank everybody who is here in law enforcement for the sacrifices that you make in West Tennessee and across the state. Governor Lee, I want to thank you for your leadership in this project, along with the legislators, particularly State Senator Ed Jackson, Representative Shaw, Representative Todd, former Representative Eldridge. It wouldn't have been possible without your fight and without your leadership. And it was critical for you all to do this so that we could see this project to its completion. Now, Kelly just mentioned my former role as a U.S. Attorney. And I can tell you that, and I see Mike Donovan here, our former U.S. Attorney, that serving in that capacity, and Joe Murphy, who is our acting United States Attorney, that we all know the sacrifices that you men and women in law enforcement have to make to get the job done. And I think I speak for Joe Murphy and Mike Donovan, Governor Lee, when I tell you that working with the TBI and the Tennessee Highway Patrol, and during my time I got to work with Mark Gwynn and with John Mayer, that law enforcement agency can stand up to any law enforcement agency in the country. They are number one. And I appreciate the work that they do. They brought us great cases when I was the U.S. Attorney, and they serve in my opinion, as a blue ribbon law enforcement agency. And I do want to say this, and I don't think I have to tell you that right now, with some, there's an anti-law enforcement sentiment that we see in this nation, and it's a shame. There's some that talk about they want to defund the police. Some lawmakers even talk about completely abolishing their police departments. Here's the thing. Those are a very few voices. I know that they can be loud, but they're very few. The majority of the people in West Tennessee, the majority of the people in this state, the majority of the people in this nation, they absolutely appreciate the job that you all do. They know that you literally put your lives on the line each and every day that you report to work. And I don't have to tell you all that your jobs are becoming more dangerous each and every day. I'm committed, and I know that all these lawmakers here are committed to protecting you, defending you, and advocating for you. And so for these reasons, now more than ever, it's essential that we provide our law enforcement on all levels with the tools and the resources that they need to do so that they can do their job properly. And again, thanks to all these men and women who have worked hard, we have this terrific facility here in West Tennessee. And I know having this facility in the lab here in Jackson, it's going to be essential to providing better response times for our law enforcement throughout West Tennessee. And Mrs. Frazier, to you and to the entire Frazier family, having this facility named in your husband's honor and your loved one's honor, it's not only a memorial, but it's going to be an inspiration. He will be an inspiration to law enforcement for generations to come throughout West Tennessee. And I say this to you all, he deserves our respect and praise. The family deserves our respect and praise, and you have it today. And so with that, I want to thank all the great law enforcement officers throughout West Tennessee and the state of West Tennessee who protect and defend our great state. And I also want to say this because we can still say this in this country. May God bless you all, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman. Today we recognize the unwavering dedication of the women and men of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and honor the ultimate sacrifice of one of them as we dedicate our new state-of-the-art facility in his honor. Our new almost 49,000 square foot crime lab and regional headquarters bears the name of Special Agent Dejaron Rayshawn Frazier. On August 9, 2016, while working undercover about 9 miles from where we are right now, Dee gave his life in service to our community, to protect us by getting dangerous drugs off the streets. Today and every day, we honor his service, and now this building stands in tribute to his and his family's sacrifice. We are grateful that the Frazier family is here with us. His wife, Shannon, their children, Cameron and Kendricks. Cameron is graduating high school next month. We're excited for you. Congratulations. And I don't know about you, but when I said the Pledge of Allegiance, that's the biggest smile I've had on my face ever. Thank you. Thank you, Kendricks. Good job. His mother, Virginia Mondi, and Dee's father, Mr. Leroy Frazier, along with other family and friends, are here with us today, and thank you all for being here with us. This facility, like its namesake, is one of a kind. It houses some of the newest technology and scientific instruments available and puts us at the forefront in our ability to serve the people of West Tennessee. This crime lab and regional headquarters, which is over 10,000 square feet larger than our facility in Memphis, will allow us space to grow our team of scientists and professionals. As we are allowed to increase our staff, we will have the opportunity to provide more services and ultimately shorten our turnaround times in processing and analyzing key evidence for law enforcement agencies across the region and the state. And that means a quicker path to justice for Tennessee families touched by crime and violence. Today simply would not be possible without the years of consistent support by our state and local leaders, our friends in the state legislature, like as you've heard, Senator Ed Jackson. He has humbly, he says that everyone else had these roles, but I can tell you personally, he has been that bulldog with the collar, Lieutenant Governor. He's done great work, and I can tell you, just a phone call is all it takes, and he starts chomping at the bit. And so, thank you, Senator. Representatives Johnny Shaw, Chris Todd, former Representative Jimmy Eldridge, who represent Jackson and Madison County, and of course Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally, were among those who fought for the resources needed for this facility for years. To Governors Haslam and Governor Lee, thank you. To you and your teams for your continued support of the Bureau and our mission. And because of that, we are standing here today. I also want to thank the TBI team, from former Director Mark Gwynn, Deputy Director Ed Jones is here somewhere. Ed, where'd you go? There you are. Assistant Director Kevin Williams, and of course our current team, Deputy Director Brad Nealon, Assistant Director Richard Moore, Assistant Director Mike Little, our West Lab Director already mentioned, Donna Nelson, and this whole West Tennessee team. As well as, I don't want to forget, Jimmy Music. Our legislators all are very aware of senior policy. Our guy, Jimmy Music. Jimmy he's the guy who more than anybody, I think, goes around and kicks the cages over there to get action done for us. So, Jimmy, we appreciate that. And we want to thank you all for your tireless efforts to get this accomplished, and it could not have happened without all of you all. This location here in Hub City puts us at the hub of activity in West Tennessee. Now, a majority of our law enforcement partners will have shorter drive times as they drop off and pick up evidence. Being here also allows for a quicker response time to most areas in this region for our violent crime response teams. They are called to process crime scenes and instances of officer-involved uses of force throughout the region. I must say also thank you to the Madison County Commission and Jackson City Council, who in 2016 gifted our 10-acre site to the state, specifically so that we could call this area home. And I also would be remiss if I didn't recognize all of our local, state, and federal law enforcement members that are here today. I look around and see many of them, and I'm so appreciative of the support and the partnerships that we have, from our DAs to sheriff's chiefs. I saw our U.S. Marshal and our special agent in charge with the FBI. So and if I start naming them off, I'm going to get in trouble. So I'll just say thank you to all of you. I want to thank you all for being here today, for being here to celebrate our team, this new cutting-edge complex, and honoring our beloved Dee Frazier. Today and every day, we pledge to serve this great state so that guilt shall not escape, nor innocence suffer. Thank you. Please help me welcome a dear member of the TBI family, one who has our enduring love and our devoted support, Ms. Shannon Frazier.
Thank you, Director Roush. I appreciate that. Bear with me, you guys. Hello and good afternoon to everyone here, including my family and friends of my beloved husband, Dejan Rashawn Frazier, better known as Sean or D by everyone that knew and loved him. To Governor Lee, Director Roush, all elected and appointed officials, all federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies, first responders, and the strong and resilient people throughout our state who are assisted by our public servants daily, thank you for being here today. My name is Shannon Frazier, and my husband Sean was killed in the line of duty here in Jackson, Tennessee, 1,718 days ago. Today, we are making new memories here that will hopefully last a lifetime. I, along with our children, Cameron and Kendricks, our families and friends, are extremely honored to be here and are pleased to be a part of this amazing tribute to my husband. One of my bereaved prayers, one of my bereaved prayers to God and my impassioned request to TBI command staff after Sean's untimely and tragic death was that his ultimate sacrifice would never be forgotten and that his heroism and bravery would always be remembered. I, along with the Frazier and Mundy family, can agree that with this amazing gesture of naming the TBI Crime Lab and regional headquarters after Sean, his memory will never be forgotten. I am confident that a lot of hard work, along with some blood, sweat, and maybe even a few tears, have gone into planning, developing, and constructing a facility. And I hope that many people residing here in West Tennessee are assisted in some way, either through the crime lab as well as the investigative teams that will be headquartered here. Just the fact that the Tennessee state legislators graciously passed a bill to name the TBI Crime Lab after my husband truly demonstrates how something so devastating as Sean's death can be used to honor his ultimate sacrifice and keep his memory alive. We have just heard all the amazing details about this brand new facility and what it will offer the people of our great state of Tennessee. I do hope and pray that as the days, weeks, months, and even years go by, Cameron, Kendricks, and I will be able to visit the TBI Frazier building from time to time, and that we will always be a part of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation family. So basically, you guys are stuck with us. Okay? All right. From the bottom of my heart, I want to give a sincere thank you to everyone that was instrumental in the completion of this amazing honor and tribute to my husband. I also want to thank any person that has shown their love and care to the Frazier and Mundy families, whether through kind thoughts, encouraging words, faith-filled prayers, or your unyielding support. This has not gone unnoticed, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Our final speaker this afternoon is a strong supporter of law enforcement, a man who has a deep appreciation for the work, the sacrifice that law enforcement does on a daily basis. He has attended numerous graduations, ceremonies, and sadly even a few funerals for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the 50th Governor of the great state of Tennessee, the Honorable Bill Lee.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you.
First of all, Ms. Frazier, I hope that you feel duly honored, and nothing will ever replace or make up for the grief and loss that your family has suffered and the sacrifice that was made. Nothing will ever make up for that, but I do believe that God's a redeemer and that He takes circumstances and moments like this to give us a glimpse of how even tragedy can be used for good. And it is true, there will be a remembrance forever, but there will also be an inspiration because his story will be told over and over again. And it'll be a reminder to the rest of us that every time we see a man or a woman in a role in law enforcement, it's a reminder that the phrase that they put their lives on the line every day is not just a phrase, that it's a reality, all too often realized. So we, again, collectively thank you for your family's sacrifice, and we hope that our work going forward will not only honor but will make good on that sacrifice to protect the people of this state. If you're in law enforcement, and there's an awful lot of people in this room, actually you should be really honored because everybody who's anybody in this part of the country is here at this event. I've about decided there's certainly an awful lot of leaders and advocates in this audience, from the Lieutenant Governor down the line through multiple legislators. Actually, I won't start reeling off all the honorable people here. They've already been mentioned today, but it should add to all of our awareness of how important this is, how important these two buildings are, how important the Bureau is, how important the Highway Patrol is, how important law enforcement is. To those of you who serve in law enforcement in the protection of our citizenry, and that includes me, we're grateful. And you are the dividing line between chaos and order. And our society would not be one of order if it were not for that dividing line. And so that's really what these two buildings are about. That's why the investments have been made long before I came along. I have nothing really to do with these projects other than to encourage the use of them in a way that furthers the greatness of this state and the order of our society here in Tennessee and the protection of law-abiding citizens in our state. We have an obligation to all the people of Tennessee to provide a safe neighborhood. When I ran for office, I said people want a good job and a good school and a safe neighborhood. And safe neighborhoods come about because of one thing, and that's because of the role of law enforcement in our community. So thanks to every one of you who serve. We support you. It should be evident that not me, but we support law enforcement by the very presence of the people that are here, by the magnitude of the investments that have been made, by the commitment to the future of the investments that will be made. We support and understand and recognize the value that law enforcement brings to our society. And I'll say this at the same time, in an era and a day when that line between chaos and order becomes all the more evident, because we see chaos in this country in many places and we see order restored as a result. But in the middle of that, we that are connected to law enforcement, and I've had conversations with every law enforcement leader in this arena right here, and including all across the state, we have an obligation to the citizens to, like any organization, any company, any organization, any institution, a continuous improvement process within our own ranks to hold ourselves accountable to being the most professional law enforcement agencies in the country. That's what I believe Tennessee is already. I know that to be true of the men and women that I interact with. But we have to require that of ourselves, so that as we interact with the citizenry and the community, that there is an ever increasing trust and faith between law enforcement and the communities that they serve. So I'm committed to that. We're committed to that. I do believe Tennessee is different than most places. And I think we have an opportunity to be different. We have an opportunity to show the country how it can work well between law enforcement and its citizenry. So I'm honored to be here. Like I said, I really just get to enjoy this as much as have any responsibility for it. But it is an honor to serve in this role. It's an honor to serve with the men and women that are on this stage and in this audience. And we should be proud. I'll finish with this. You know, it's been a very difficult year for a lot of people in this country for a lot of reasons. Can name a multitude of difficulties this country's had, and including this state over the last year. It's been a hard year. But I have the privilege now of engaging with other states in different ways. For example, I do a phone call every Tuesday night with probably 15 governors, and we talk about what's happening in our state every day and what our current situation is and what the environment is like. We are very, very fortunate to be Tennesseans. We have had strong leadership at the local level in our communities and all across the state to put us in a position that few Americans get to enjoy. Part of that is in spite of the challenges we have, the the relative peace that we have in our communities because of much of it, because of the people that are in this room and that we're honoring today and that we are investing in as well. So we are fortunate, the most fortunate of all, to be able to serve you and to serve the people of Tennessee as we take this state where she is today, make her a leader in the country. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this family. Thank you for supporting the Bureau. Thank you for supporting the Highway Patrol. Most importantly, thank you for supporting this community in this state and law enforcement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Lee, and thank you for your continued support. We also want to recognize our friends and partners at the Tennessee Department of Transportation who set up everything for us today. Nicole, Jason, and Frank and their teams, they took the lead and really helped make this ceremony possible, so a big thank you to them. We're going to now move on to our ribbon cuttings, first at the THP district headquarters, and then we'll move over to the TBI facility. At the conclusion of the ribbon cuttings, we invite you to tour each of the buildings at your convenience. If you would please make your way over to the north side of the THP building. The TBI ribbon cutting will take place at the front of our building on the west side. Thank you for being here.